So hell, Cameron, we get to the end of 2 weeks on the road. So, hey, now I understand what this is about. I understand this constitution. I understand this. We're in a new imperative.
The joys and pains.
Yeah.
Because reading through material, I remember we used to have this conversation late at night and said, I'm still sitting on my bum and trying to get this thing right.
Yeah.
And I remember when I got the material for the first time, he said, well, it's 400 pages. And I was like, oh wow, I've got a long way to go. Stage one was the time we took to amend.
Yes.
It's been months. Just to give you an idea, we established two main task teams. It was a task team that's me and my team, and a task team of the board, because they have the power to approve them.
Yeah.
Right?
And people don't know that. I didn't even know what the process is.
And the interesting thing about it is that, especially in the position I hold, I have to balance both sides, meaning the interest of the board and the interest of management.
Yes.
Because management knows the practice, and you've got board members who are involved in higher matters at net level.
How big is the board?
The board is 10 members.
Okay.
Government, business, and labor. And you have to balance the competing interests.
Yes.
Because they've got mandates, they're dealing with their own constituencies.
Yes.
But I need to strike a balance between what their mandate is and also what the law requires.
Yes.
So it causes one to go deep into that research. But I'm happy that I had a wonderful team, and like your team, and that helped from time to time. And I've got a wonderful team that did the groundwork, but I must ensure I get into the meat of things and direct how things went. So as it went, and the recommendations were made, went to the board, the approval was made. So that was a good part. And the drafting part was very engaging. I was happy that you went through the drafting part of it. Remember what we said?
Yes.
I'm going to see it from outside because I'm not involved. So you're going to bring that aspect. I think that combination was brilliant, don't you think?
No, I fully agree. Scary for me because things in the beginning I misinterpret certain things.
Yeah.
I mean the interaction between the rules.
Yeah.
I misinterpreted. The considerations why I changed those rules, I got it wrong many times.
Yeah.
So yeah, I must say to you that I'm glad that I've got that insight. But what were the lows for you?
The lowest. Look, it's the amount of people, I think, right from the beginning.
Yes.
That I think they could have included more than what we had.
Yes.
Right? It's not a low, but it's the hard issue.
Yes.
Because those that need it the most, but at least we're going to continue to do so. Because you have to infuse the need for people to access and be able to talk to them directly. And I think the other thing also that comes with that is, I think we'll get to this someday, where when we present these things and the materials that we draft, we can do it in more than one language. Because South Africa is a beautiful country, make no mistake. We've got, I think, the biggest component of our population are good people.
Yeah.
And I remember Nelson Mandela said that when he was released in prison, he said that we have a responsibility first to identify the good people in our society. There are good men and women in each and every race and each and every group. Our job is to find those, consolidate those, because that's the group, in my view, that should drive the country.
Yes.
The goodness part of it, because I believe that good always prevail over the bad, right? So if we're able to enjoy the beauty and the culture of our different languages as we do all of this, and as we present it, I think that'll be more inclusive. Yeah. For me, even if it's not a low, I think it is a witness that we can build on.
Yes.
Right? In future, on how we can balance the multilingualism issue, because attached to every language is an issue of culture.
Absolutely.
If we recognize it and we respect it and we speak in a way that is understandable. You remember, my cousin, I always say that when we deal with disputes, let's deal with them as South Africans first, because we have our own DNA.
Yeah.
Right? And that issue for me, it's something that must be continuous. If there's a low, mine is a low in prospect also, to say we preach a good gospel, but we need to sustain it.
Yes.
And how best to sustain it is to broaden our base in terms of language and culture. The last low, I think, for me is the timing of the LSE judgment. Because you put in a lot of work in the material. Everything was there.
Now you're referring to the Mohube judgment.
Yes, Mohube judgment, yeah. And it loaded also our rules, the bulk of that was based on the Solomon's judgment.
Yeah.
And we were ready to go and everything else. And then boom, on the 18th of May, LSE says,
Friday in Durban at Sibaya, and that's what happened.
And I said, I remember saying to him, I don't know how to do this. Right? I have difficulty talking about wrong law, as I can see. So we have to find a way to adapt and adjust, right? But it hit us that it was a shock moment. But I'm glad that immediately after that, we managed to approach it. I don't know from that, how would you see what will be the strengths other than the lows that I see? You can also talk to the lows that probably you think we can identify.
So the highlight for me was the enthusiasm of the participation of the delegates.
Oh yeah.
Whether and you and I talked about it. Bloemfontein, a small little place. Kubega, a small little place.
Yeah.
Absolutely participating and asking the right questions and wanting to know how it works.
Yes.
So for me, that's really a highlight. If you look at the rules themselves, this online platform that the CCMA has developed,
it's perfect.
I mean, if that train takes off from the station, it's going to put up speed, and you're going to have so much more time and effort to really do what you should be doing, and that is creating workplace harmony and workplace fundamentals that can take us further.